the cycle of comfort and challenge. Life is a series of cycles. Throughout history, we see this pattern. Hard times create strong people create good times, and good times, if left unchecked, can create weak people. It's a phenomenon as old as civilization itself. But why does this cycle persist? The answer lies in human nature, the way we respond to comfort and challenge. When times are hard, we are forced to rise to the occasion. Struggle sharpens our instincts, fuels our creativity, and builds resilience. Think about the greatest achievements of humanity, whether it's technological breakthroughs, artistic masterpieces, or revolutions that changed the world. Many of them were born out of necessity, out of an unrelenting desire to overcome adversity. In these moments, we discover what we're truly capable of. But then comes the reward, good times. And let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with enjoying the fruits of our labor. That's the point of progress, isn't it? To create a world where things are easier, better, and more abundant. Yet comfort carries a hidden danger. It whispers in our ears, relax, you've earned it. You don't need to push anymore, and little by little, we begin to lose the edge that got us there in the first place. You see, comfort, while it feels good, is a double-edged sword. It can refresh us, but it can also lull us into complacency. When we're no longer driven by the need to survive, we risk forgetting the lessons that struggle taught us. We stop reaching for greatness and start settling for mediocrity. And that's when the cycle begins to turn again. But here's the thing, the cycle isn't inevitable. Good times don't have to create weak people. Weakness is not a byproduct of abundance, it's a byproduct of how we respond to abundance. The real danger lies in forgetting the principles that created those good times in the first place: discipline, innovation, hard work, and the courage to take risks. So how do we break the cycle? By embracing the truth that growth is a choice, not a condition. You don't need to wait for hard times to push you. You can challenge yourself even when life is comfortable. Step outside your comfort zone. Set goals that scare you. Seek out opportunities to learn, to fail, and to grow. Because the strongest people aren't just forged by adversity, they're also forged by their refusal to let comfort define them. Think about it, every great athlete, every visionary entrepreneur, every leader who changed the world, they didn't stop when they reached the top. They kept climbing. They understood that the greatest threat to success isn't failure, it's stagnation. They knew that comfort is a place to visit, not a place to live. So I leave you with this challenge. Ask yourself, am I letting good times soften me, or am I using them to build something even greater? Don't just enjoy the rewards of your struggle, use them to fuel your next adventure. The cycle of comfort and challenge doesn't have to control you. You have the power to break it. The question is, will you? Growth lies in the discomfort zone. If there's one universal truth about growth, it's this: it never happens in the comfort zone. Comfort is cozy, familiar, and safe. But safety doesn't lead to strength, and familiarity doesn't breed greatness. Growth, real, transformative growth, requires discomfort. It requires stepping into the unknown, embracing uncertainty, and challenging yourself in ways that make you question whether you're capable of rising to the occasion. Think about it. How do muscles grow? By being torn and rebuilt. How do minds expand? By grappling with new ideas, even when they're difficult to understand or accept. And how do leaders emerge? Not by taking the easy road, but by facing the toughest challenges head on. The discomfort zone isn't a punishment, it's a privilege. It's the place where potential turns into power. But here's the catch: we're wired to avoid discomfort. It's in our DNA. The instinct to seek safety kept our ancestors alive, but in today's world, where survival is often taken for granted, this instinct can become a trap. It whispers to us, stay where you are, don't risk failure, don't invite struggle. And if we listen to that voice, we lose the very thing that makes us human: the drive to grow, to evolve, to become something greater. The truth is, every meaningful achievement in your life will come from a moment of discomfort. Maybe it's the awkwardness of learning a new skill, the vulnerability of sharing your truth, or the fear of taking a leap into the unknown. It's not easy, it's never easy. But easy isn't where transformation lives. Easy keeps you stagnant. Discomfort pushes you forward. Now, I want you to think about a time in your life when you grew the most. Was it during a moment of ease and comfort, or was it during a challenge that forced you to dig deep, to find strength and resilience you didn't know you had? For most of us, it's the latter. Those are the moments that define us not because they were easy, but because they were hard. And this is where the magic happens. Once you understand that discomfort is the path to growth, you stop fearing it. Instead, you start seeking it out. You look for opportunities to stretch yourself, to test your limits, to become better than you were yesterday. Because you know that every step outside your comfort zone is a step toward the person you're meant to be. So here's my challenge to you. What's one thing you've been avoiding because it feels uncomfortable? Maybe it's having a tough conversation. Maybe it's taking on a project you're not sure you can handle. Maybe it's starting over in an area of your life that feels stagnant. Whatever it is, do it. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Do it today. Because growth doesn't wait for the perfect moment. Growth doesn't care about your excuses. Growth only happens when you're willing to embrace the discomfort, lean into the challenge, and trust that on the other side, you'll find a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself. The discomfort zone isn't just where growth lives, it's where you come alive. Will you step into it? Why struggle is your best teacher? Struggle. It's a word that carries weight, a word that makes us uncomfortable. It's the thing we're taught to avoid at all costs. Yet when we reflect on our lives, what do we remember most? The victories that came easily, or the moments of struggle that forced us to dig deeper, grow stronger, and become more resilient than we ever thought possible. Struggle isn't just an obstacle, it's a teacher. And it's the most powerful teacher you'll ever have. Why? Because it doesn't just show you what you're capable of, it transforms you in the process. Struggle challenges your limits and rewrites the narrative you tell yourself about what you can and cannot do. Think about every great story you've ever heard, every hero you've ever admired. What do they all have in common? Struggle. Whether it's an athlete pushing through injury, an entrepreneur overcoming countless failures, or a leader persevering through adversity, struggle is at the heart of every triumph. Without it, there is no growth. Without it, there is no greatness. But struggle doesn't just build character, it reveals it. It strips away the superficial and shows you who you really are. When everything is easy, it's simple to wear the mask of confidence, discipline, or strength. But when life gets hard, that's when your true self emerges. Struggle forces you to confront your fears, insecurities, and doubts. And in doing so, it gives you the opportunity to overcome them. You see, struggle isn't something to be avoided, it's something to be embraced. It's the gym for your mind, heart, and soul. Just like lifting weights tears down your muscles so they can grow back stronger, struggle breaks you down to rebuild you better. It teaches you lessons that no book, no lecture, no easy road ever could. It teaches you resilience, patience, and the value of perseverance. And here's the beauty of it: struggle doesn't discriminate. It's a universal experience. Everyone, no matter their background or circumstances, will face struggles in their life. What sets people apart is how they respond to those struggles. Some let it defeat them. Others use it to fuel their growth. The choice is always yours. The next time you face a challenge, I want you to remember this struggle isn't here to punish you, it's here to prepare you. It's here to teach you something you couldn't learn any other way. It's here to make you stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. But here's the catch: struggle will only teach you if you're willing to be a student. You have to approach it with humility and an open heart. You have to be willing to fail, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. You have to see struggle not as an enemy, but as an ally in your journey toward becoming the person you were meant to be. So the next time life knocks you down, don't ask, why me? Instead, ask, what is this teaching me? Because struggle, when embraced, is your greatest teacher. It's not the easy moments that define you, it's how you rise after the fall. And when you look back on your life, you'll realize that the moments of struggle were the moments when you truly came alive. Will you accept the lesson? The trap of entitlement. Entitlement is a quiet trap, but its effects are anything but subtle. It sneaks in when success becomes commonplace, when abundance is no longer appreciated, and when effort is no longer seen as necessary. It whispers, you deserve this, simply because you exist, and while that idea might feel comforting in the moment, it's one of the most dangerous lies you can believe. Entitlement is the mindset that everything should be easy, that rewards should come without effort, and that life owes us something. But here's the harsh truth: life owes you nothing. Every achievement, every milestone, every ounce of growth you've experienced came from work, sacrifice, and resilience. Entitlement, on the other hand, robs you of those qualities. It dulls your hunger, weakens your resolve, and blinds you to the opportunities for growth that come through struggle. Think about it. When we start to feel entitled, we stop pushing ourselves. We stop taking risks. We stop striving for greatness because we convince ourselves that we don't need to. Entitlement doesn't just lead to stagnation, it leads to decline. What starts as comfort turns into complacency, and complacency is where potential goes to die. But how does entitlement take root? It often begins in good times. When we've worked hard to achieve success, it's natural to want to enjoy it, and we should. But when the celebration turns into expectation, when we start believing that success will continue regardless of our effort, that's when entitlement begins to grow. The greatest danger of entitlement is that it blinds us to the process that created success in the first place. It makes us forget the discipline, the resilience, and the grit that were required to get where we are. It tricks us into thinking we can have the reward without the work, the victory without the battle. But nothing in life worth having comes easily. The process is what builds character. The struggle is what creates strength. So how do we escape the trap of entitlement? By cultivating gratitude and effort. Gratitude reminds us that everything we have is a gift, not just from the world, but from the version of ourselves that worked to earn it. It shifts our focus from what we think we deserve to what we can give, create, and contribute. Effort, on the other hand, keeps us grounded in the reality that growth is a constant process. It reminds us that the moment we stop striving is the moment we start declining. Effort is the antidote to entitlement because it keeps us connected to the principles of hard work and perseverance. Here's the truth: entitlement is a shortcut, but it leads to nowhere. Gratitude and effort, though harder paths, lead to fulfillment and purpose. The choice is yours. So, the next time you find yourself thinking, I deserve this, ask yourself, what have I done to earn it? What more can I give to grow? Because true fulfillment doesn't come from what you think you're owed, it comes from what you become in the pursuit of something greater. Life owes you nothing, but it offers you everything if you're willing to work for it. Don't let entitlement rob you of that gift. Instead, let gratitude and effort guide your path.